We are here. Okay, so I'm Kim with Guide to the Good. This is Looks Like Social Enterprise, a brand new live stream series that we're working out a couple of bugs on technically that celebrates social enterprise. I'm joined by Nicole Dawe of the Community Foundation of Newfoundland and Labrador. Is there? Just make sure they know it's you. Yeah. And Courtney Rowsell from TaskforceNL. Yeah, so Courtney, Nicole, tell us about what Community Foundation Newfoundland and Labrador has to do with social enterprise and what a little bit more about then to Task Force. Let's go.
Yeah, of course. Thank you, Kim, and thank you for supporting with all of this amazing storytelling and technology support. We really appreciate in this initiative we're doing together this year. So yeah, Nicole, I'm the Executive Director with the Community Foundation of Newfoundland and Labrador. We're an organization that facilitates community-led philanthropy here in the province of Newfoundland and Labrador. And one of the ways we do that is being part of the Community Foundations of Canada network, which is over 200 community foundations across the country. We often partner with the federal government to deliver granting programs. So the federal government funds the program, like the Investment Readiness Program, and then community foundations across the country are able to ensure that more local communities are able to make decisions about how those funds flow out. So that is what happened with the Investment Readiness Program. It was the third round of this funding program and partnership between the Government of Canada and the Community Foundations of Canada network. So we're really excited this year to be sharing a lot about the organizations that were granted these funds through the IRP in Newfoundland and Labrador. And today that is going to be TaskforceNL. So Courtney is joining us here. They have an amazing project that was granted $75,000 for this year from the Investment Readiness Program, and we're just so excited to hear more about Task Force and shine a light on the great work that they're doing.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here. So my name is Courtney Rowsell, as Kim mentioned. I'm the Manager and Community Liaison at TaskforceNL. And for those of you who may not know who we are, I'll just tell you a little bit about our history and then jump into the project that Nicole referred to. So TaskforceNL is a not-for-profit social enterprise. We were formed actually in the early days of the pandemic. So back in March 2020, we had a group of volunteers who came together exactly as the name says, as a task force. So we were working together. You may associate TaskforceNL with masks. That's because in the early days of the pandemic, that's kind of what we done. We banded together to help secure PPE, and which led to the manufacturing of PPE here in the province, just to support our healthcare workers. So that was, I guess, the challenge that the task force was brought together to tackle in the beginning. And since then, we've formalized ourselves as an organization that tackles challenges that arise in our community.
I just want to jump in. I can remember those days, Courtney, when everybody was terrified, and nobody knew what to do. The masks weren't around, like this stuff wasn't there. And then we'd listen to the news and watch, and we heard and saw that TaskforceNL, brilliant group of people, had come together and were actually doing things. So awesome. That got you guys started, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it was, I guess, in a very challenging time for a lot of members in our community. It was, a group of volunteers who were doing what they could to help. So there was a lot of momentum and some bright light that came from that, which led us to continue doing great things in the community, which brought us, directly, I guess, to where we are today. So, just as a task force, we are dedicated to, I guess, tackling challenges and opportunities that exist in the province. And for the last 18 months or so, that has been immigration. And looking forward, that's where we're going to stay for the next while. So the current project that we're working on, and our current mandate is to support employers, industry associations, and municipalities through the welcoming and hiring of new Canadians. So for, I would say, until March of this year, we've been focused on connecting new Ukrainians who have arrived in our province with employers who are looking to fill labor gaps. And making connections between employment opportunities and those who are looking for employment. And so that's, we like found a lot of synergy there, a lot of energy. And so back in the PPE days of TaskforceNL, we were able to build a large community of people. So, you know, a lot of connections were made. So we, I guess, took those connections within the business community and created an employer community. So employers were, you know, wondering how they can help the Ukrainians who are arriving in our province get employment. It's like, you know, we have open job positions. How can we connect with people? We know that a lot of new Canadians who come to our country and to our province are very highly skilled, highly educated, and looking to work and settle here in Newfoundland and Labrador. And what we know to be true is that employment is key. Employment is the key to settlement. So when you have a job and you have a place to work, a place where you feel belonged and included, then you know, then you'll stay. So a lot of people joke about the Newfoundland weather, but no one leaves because of the weather. People leave because they don't have jobs. So that's really where we've found our niche is helping employers do the best they can. So we do it in a couple of different ways, but the model that we're focusing on currently and moving forward is how we can help municipalities and full communities be more welcoming. So providing education. So we do workshops, you know, one-on-one type education, you know, speak with employers, determine what their needs are, and then help them either provide them with resources or connect them to the right spot where they can find the resources that they need. So we've been working a lot with industry associations to help, I guess, enhance what they do and then determine how we can better help them help their members. That's one way. So like we've been working with 2 specific communities right now, one being Happy Valley Goose Bay. So we work really closely with the Labrador North Chamber of Commerce. Constanza actually was in Goose Bay a couple of weeks ago. Constanza is our executive director, for those of you listening who may not know that. And so we worked with the Labrador North Chamber of Commerce to help them host the first job fair they've ever hosted in Happy Valley Goose Bay, which was super exciting. But beyond their realm, but they know that they have a lot of newcomers moving to Happy Valley Goose Bay, which I thought was super interesting. You know, they have a huge newcomer population, so helping organizations like the Labrador North Chamber of Commerce and the municipality of Happy Valley Goose Bay, I guess, leverage the tools that they have to be more welcoming. So how can we show off Happy Valley Goose Bay as a place to live and a place to work, and identify employment opportunities in a way that are, I guess, appealing to newcomers. So I take it down to the very basics, like when you put up a job posting, don't include acronyms. People don't know what acronyms mean.
Right.
You know, find ways that you can offer opportunities to learn English within your workplaces. Things like that could be super simple, but can make you a better employer, especially for newcomers who are looking to work within your company. Right. So that's what we've been doing with Goose Bay. We've been working mostly with the chamber, but realizing that to be welcoming as an employer and for retention purposes, there needs to be a full community of support. So helping the municipality identify other resources that exist within their community, and bringing all of that together. So that's exactly what the Municipal Hiring Blitz is focused on, is identifying all opportunities within a community. So employment opportunities, community supports, learning opportunities, extracurricular activities, those kinds of things, and then making a connection with newcomers. So for the side of newcomers, because as I mentioned, I'd say clientele or participants are employers and associations. So then we want to connect them with newcomers. So we work super close with organizations such as the YMCA, the Association for New Canadians, the YWCA, and then there are a whole bunch of other organizations that offer settlement support for newcomers. So we are really acting as that connector to connect all of the dots and the organizations together.
Awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So people would, like if I were an employer and I was looking for some new staff, would I call you?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So you can, if you're an employer, if you're, say, a community member who has connections to another organization or within an organization, if you are an industry association, say representative or a staff member, reach out to me. You can connect with us through email or through our website. Our website is www.taskforcenl.com.
We'll put a link up when this is downloaded and posted on the website.
Perfect. So there's our contact information is at our website. You can also connect through us through any of our social media pages. But reach out to me, and then what we do is kind of work with you as an employer, work with you to assess what your needs are, and then determine if there is a way that we can help you personally. So maybe it's adjusting your job posting or determining what kind of skill set you need, that kind of thing. And then we'll connect you with who we think is best. So if that's, say, direct with the Association for New Canadians, then we'll provide a connection and foster that connection through there. Or maybe it's to be connected with another employer or another association or those kinds of things. Or I'll connect you direct with the knowledge that I have or that we have here at TaskforceNL.
Cool.
Very cool. What I forgot to mention, because we were kind of jumping on quickly, like the real purpose behind like the IRP is really supporting communities to kind of build their capacity and around earned revenue to hopefully lead to social finance investments that are helping to solve sort of the social, cultural, and environmental challenges that communities are dealing with. And I really love about how you work that you really kind of meet communities where they are in that and look at organizations and communities like what are the amazing gifts and assets that are already existing there, and how do you make sure that you're building from that strong place, which I think is a really great way to work alongside community.
Yeah, I think that I guess that speaks to us truly as an organization. That's kind of what that's how we started. It's like, how can we use what we have within our community to make us stronger? And I'll say that the same goes right now. It's how can we help connect newcomers who are already here in our province. So I guess that's one piece I didn't mention. It's like we're connecting people who are already here in Newfoundland and Labrador. So whether it's a graduated international student, maybe say Ukrainians who have already arrived here, spouses of international students who may have an open work permit. So people who are already here in Newfoundland and Labrador who have the skill sets that could help the employers who are almost left with no choice but to close their business due to staffing shortages. So we're really, I guess, connecting the people who are already here. So yeah, it speaks to the strengthening the community with what we already have. And there are communities that already have resources that they don't even realize that they have, assets that they don't even realize are assets. So helping, I guess, one, bring to life that realization that, oh, you know what, like this, we already have these things. We don't have to do anything new or different. It's really just maybe enhancing what we already do or doing things a little bit differently. But bringing to light that immigration, specifically hiring newcomers within your company or welcoming newcomers to your community, it doesn't have to be complicated or complex. It's pretty simple. And Newfoundlanders and Labradorians have a long history of being very welcoming and friendly people. And so I guess fostering that in a way that makes everybody feel a little more welcomed and supported is kind of what we're doing.
Awesome. From the Guide to the Good perspective, we're a social enterprise all about building sustainable communities. And what we know we need to have sustainable communities is more people, to set up their lives, and smart people coming from all over the world doing their cool things here in Newfoundland and Labrador. And what you're doing is enabling that to happen in the first instance, like as directly as it possibly can.
Absolutely. And what we have been focused a little bit, I guess, mainly in the St. John's region, because that's where we're physically located. But the municipal hiring blitz and the funding from the investment readiness program are really allowing us to step outside of the Avalon Peninsula. So we're working with communities across the province. So as I mentioned, Happy Valley Goose Bay, we've been fostering a connection up there for a little while, but it's trying to find ways to connect the employers in those regions with newcomers who mainly settle in St. John's. So when you land in Newfoundland and Labrador, your first stop is St. John's most of the time. So then you settle here, and you don't really realize the beauty and the other opportunities that exist within the province. So the investment readiness program is really allowing us to take that step and make connections between the employers outside of the Avalon region and connect to them with newcomers who are here in St. John's, but are so, I guess, excited, happy, and willing to move to new places in Newfoundland and Labrador, which personally I'm from Central, so I can appreciate that, the opportunities that exist elsewhere in the province. So it's been super exciting to make those connections and, and create some sustainable communities in other regions as well.
Yay! That is awesome. Courtney, thank you so much for coming and sharing that amazing work today. And Nicole, thank you so much for doing what you do, like you do it, and also specifically, of course, from the perspective of Community Foundation of Newfoundland and Labrador. You guys are doing kind of magical things, kind of just under the radar there, but not always under the radar. Tell us a little bit about what Community Foundation is at these days, besides this.
Yeah, I'd say we're definitely an organization and take a posture of wanting to shine the spotlight versus the ones being in the spotlight. But I can tell you, a little bit more about the organization. So again, facilitate community-led philanthropy, and I think we've talked a little bit about what that meant in the live we did last month. But this one, we wanted to just highlight the community leadership that we do. So granting is obviously a big part of the role that we play, stewarding great volunteers to make decisions about financial resources in the province. But the other pieces, we do have community leadership. We have NL vital signs that we partner with the Harris Center at Memorial to deliver, which is really about community-led data and knowledge and giving community members information that can be really valuable for them doing their community work. So yeah, all kinds of ways that we just try and be there for community with different kinds of resources, sometimes financial, sometimes more on the knowledge and storytelling side, and just trying to, again, always working towards thriving Newfoundland and Labrador communities where everyone belongs.
And that publication, Vital Signs, it has so much information. We keep it and we sort of refer back to it. The graphs that are in it and those things, you can see when there are major changes and what influenced them. It's really an important piece of information that you guys do. It's amazing. So thank you for that.
Oh, thank you. And to everyone, especially the Harris Center, who helps to make it happen. So there'll be another release later this fall. We're kind of working away on it now, trying to figure out what it looks like and who is going to help to steward it. So yeah, just really excited about that.
And isn't it cool, like the work that TaskforceNL is doing now is going to influence what shows in Vital Signs in the fall and in years to come. It's really cool. Social enterprise is a magic and amazing thing. And it's a real pleasure to have this opportunity to learn and to share the things that are going on. And we love sharing. So, this will eventually make it up to the Guide to the Good website with under the Looks Like Social Enterprise banner. So this will be downloaded. It'll be a funny shape because we had to go funny shape because the three of us are streaming and we're vertical rather than horizontal. We learned that. That's great. And you can follow Guide to the Good on Facebook and Insta and LinkedIn as well. It is, I think that's it. I think that's all. Oh, the next time, Nicole, we will be back together at the end of June, right?
Yeah, we're back together. Oh, I've got to remember the date. It's not a Wednesday. I think it's maybe the 20th, the Tuesday this time, giving some space to make sure folks can go out and celebrate National Indigenous Peoples Day on the 21st. So the 20th, we're going to be back with Mokami in Labrador, getting to talk a little bit about what they're doing with the investment readiness program around housing.
Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for being here.
Thank you. And a huge thank you to the Investment Readiness Program, which is allowing us to continue this great work and really form ourselves into a social enterprise.
Yeah, it's so cool. You know, it's easy to get discouraged by all the not good things that are happening, but when you pause and you listen and you realize so many great things are happening. You know, we got this. We're doing it. It's happening. Yay!
Yes, you all are making it all happen. So thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
so much.
Okay.